All my life, I have to be honest, all my life, the time from mid September till, we'll say, what they call New Year's Eve, was my favorite time of year. I mean, granted, when you're a kid, the lead up to the holidays has that, I guess, that magical quality that goes away when you're older. But it was always a period of anticipation and optimism. And October, barring Halloween, was my favorite month because of the beauty of the leaves changing color, and it was just the temperatures were not too cold and not too hot usually, and there would even sometimes be a period called Indian summer, and I loved that. But see, now there's nothing about it that attracts me because what do we have? We have these container ships off the coast holding, like the Grinch, like the Grinch and that silly little cartoon, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, holding Christmas for ransom, so to speak. And I really, really don't care about that aspect of it. I really don't. Um, I'm afraid I'm not one of these people that will disregard Christmas and call it something pagan. The reason I don't is because I'm a student of history, and I know very full and well that, yes, it was created around Saturnalia, which indeed was a very pagan holiday. And you want to know why? Because that's what the church did. It took what was pagan and made it Christian, converted it to something Christian. The Pantheon in Rome, which was a pagan temple to all the gods, that's why it's called a pantheon, was made into a Christian church and is to this day a Christian church. What could they have done? It's one of the most brilliantly designed buildings in the Roman Empire. They could have torn it down. What would that accomplish? No, that's not the way they did it. They converted it. See, I don't believe in all this tear things down. If they're worth keeping, convert them, turn them to something Christian. You have a right to disagree with that, but I'm just telling you my my belief about that, and it's based on history. It's not based on anything I tell you. Is not based on Bruce. Okay, it's not based on me getting just my direct inspirations from the Holy Spirit, which I do get inspirations from the Holy Spirit. I think many of us do. It's based on a higher authority. Okay, it's based on a teaching authority that goes back to Jesus Christ. Otherwise, I wouldn't believe it myself. But I'm not really digressing because it's all significant. But the point is, this holiday season, it's all different, even from last year. Even, well, really, since the pandemic broke out, as they call it, it's all changed. Everything became obviously changed. I haven't thought the world the same for since my conversion, really, and that was a wake up call, of course. But you have these container ships out there, like I said, holding the holidays ransom because they're not going to unload them for whatever reason, because who knows what's really on board. But before that, what do you hear about if you turn on your tellies? You might get a little bit of the weather, a little bit of the sports, but this is what you hear about. It's what you hear about on and on and on like drones. And that's called indoctrination. And that's why people are going along with it, because that's all they're used to. That's what they hear all the time on the news shows, the talkback shows, the morning shows, on and on. What led up to this and this spoils everything. You know, I heard yesterday that all the professional ball players, if they haven't gotten this, and even if they have in some cases, they still have to be tested weekly. It just takes the joy out of watching it because I know what's in it, and I know what it's doing to really very fit men. I mean, professional ball players are pretty top of their form. And it's not just baseball, it's football and blah, blah, blah. I'm sure it's basketball too. So it's like they've taken the joy out of life, out of the things that they can. But my joy, of course, my true joy is in Jesus Christ, and they can't take that away. Not from you either. But I'm just saying, like, it's not now to a Christian, this world is absolutely not recognizable to what it was, even 5 years ago. It's just dead. It's dead because it's rejected God. And you can see the death everywhere and the decay and the absolute blindness and delusion that has swept over the whole world that does not see. It has no clue. But I'm just saying, what was a time of hope and optimism for me has a different kind of hope because I'm seeing beyond it all, beyond this dead world to a new world that is promised and that is coming, and that we can all have joy and belief in and hope in. But in the meantime, they're out there with their Trojan horses, which I think could be out on the coast, and with their ransom and with everything else they're using to get their agenda through, and they are succeeding. Last I heard, 200, 215 million. I think the population is of the U.S. is around 335 million. A good 2/3 have gotten at least one of these, and it's full steam ahead. So once again, don't put any hope in this world. It really is over, and we have to look beyond it now to a new world coming, which is beautiful.